So, g'day folks. We got a couple things to talk about on this one. So this one is called Paspalum dilatatum, otherwise known as crown grass, or Dallis grass. I like to call it caterpillar grass because these little things look like a little fat caterpillar. Now, before I do these videos, I like to do a bit of research, see if there's anything out there on edible uses, medicinal uses. But this one doesn't have a whole lot of knowledge on that, so that's where I come in. Now, I've found a few proper uses for this, and what I'm interested in isn't actually once the little flower heads come out like this. What I'm interested in is before they come out. So if I take this little section here, right, I'm just going to pluck this whole chunk out. Okay, this whole thing is going to be full of carbs. Now you peel off one of these leaves, right? You peel off one of these guys, and you see that notch right here. Just above that is actually a little chunk of carbs. It's like peas. You can sort of like, if I break this about here, right? You see all this starchy sort of white stuff in there? That's edible. That's quite good for you too. So, nom nom noms, because I know you love watching me eat food. Random shit too. And again, as I said, there's all this sort of starchy stuff in here, and you can give that a chomp as well. Now, there's a couple things, always a couple things. So, first and foremost, so even Kew Gardens doesn't know much about this one. JStore doesn't know much, that's an online one. All that, so that's equivalent to like beans and stuff, so. Nom 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 nom. Okay, so I'm a singy little fella, and I'm a happy fella today too. So there's all that, and you get that again, you pull it down on the next leaf, and you get the next little segment coming through. Right? Sometimes you've got to chase it down a pinch, there it is, till you get to this next little knuckle there. And again, the same thing happens. And you see all that white stuff. You can sort of squeeze it, and get a little bit more out, and you can get the juices out of it. Right, very moist, very moistening. And again, you split that there, just a bit above it, strip it down, and you got again, this internal part. And again, that little internal part is like peas. And you can do that for days. Alright, now, right up the top, before it sends out this flower, it's got the unformed flower here. And when it's a little bit younger than this, you can actually eat that entire thing. So this one's probably a little bit past its prime. You want to get it a little bit deeper in there, when it's still just sort of forming. But that there, a little bit earlier than that. Let's see if we can find one. Okay, so we got one right about here. Let's see, it's starting to get that tiny little spike in the middle. And strip it down. And you can see how much of this stuff is around here. You know, all the same stuff. And get that nice fat chunk there. And let's see if we can get this big fat caterpillar out of there. All these carbs in here. Yes, didn't you know it? So not all grass is about eating the seeds, like your wheat, rye, barley, oats and rice and stuff like this. A lot of it is about eating the stalks or about eating the roots. So as I said again, it's starting to form up. Let's see. There you go. So that's actually quite sweet when it's quite young like that. Now, whatever part of the plant is doing most of the growing is where most of the sugars are going to be. That's very nice. Now let's see if I can get an even better one. So you can get the bulge happening. I want it when it's a little bit younger. See, when it gets green like this is not really when you want it. You want it when it's still a bit white. See if I can find a good example on this one. Yeah, all this stuff in here. And you can eat that for days. Fry it up, goes really nice in any stir fry that you might have. It's really quite nice. It's like eating lemongrass almost. And there you go. So, what did we say that was called? Crown grass, Paspalum dilatatum. And with a lot of grasses, because we don't chew the cud, just chew it and spit it out. Get the moisture out and spit out the rest. And yes, crown grass, Dallis grass, or Paspalum dilatatum. Very abundant. And of course, used to regenerate landscapes because it does grow so well. Used for cattle fodder because, of course, they can just pretty much chew through any grass. So, there you go. So, as I call it, the caterpillar grass, or this one here. Hope you enjoy that. You can make that into a flower when it's young like that too. Real easy. Anyway, turtles, take care. Bye.